Hi all, back with more Normandy, beginning and end, using the Alone in the Storm solo expansion, playing Scenario 1, patrolling the front. This will be my part 15. We are on turn 4 of 6 turns, and taking a bit of a beating. We have one company routed at the moment, and a lot of step losses elsewhere as well. And we have... we took the first turn and these are finished. We got one, I think we got a hit on no, it wasn't machine gun, we got a hit on the other guy, didn't we? Okay, one thing I noticed, now I might put a comment in the header of the video that this comes up. I've not watched them all back yet. I haven't dished out these are the 3 activity level markers that we've used for the first 3 turns. However, things a bit different now because we're on a resistance level of 6. But my understanding, I think, the solo book, is that we get, it's worse for us. It's going to be worse for us because we get half of that number in high activity level markers. So that's going to be 3, and there's only 3 companies, so they only need 3 activity level markers. Let me just confirm that nothing changes regarding. So headquarters phase, modifiers, right. Determine the number of high, medium. Hang on. In order to help you remember the rush resistance value during the game, there is a space in the turn track where the appropriate numeric marker will be placed on the rush or resistance fields. Yeah, and I've got it up there. And if any you didn't watch this from the beginning, I unfortunately did not get that board in my Alone in the Storm game box, and first the reason I maybe didn't try and follow it up with whoever I bought it from, I can't remember who I bought it from, was that I thought I'd bought the Alone in the Storm expansion new, but I'd bought Normandy at the beginning and end second hand, and I thought it was maybe in that, and figured the guy had maybe just lost it, whoever I bought it from. But it wasn't the case. It should have been in the Alone in the Storm. I did come across one comment on BGG with somebody else in the same position, so my guess is that there's some copies out there that got missed out with it. I've just created my own little board. It's maybe not a huge big deal. Doesn't look very nice up there. Maybe I could have fancied it up a bit, but it's just really a place to hold to keep track of the turn track and the resistance level. And you've got a weather condition, and you've got this initiative one, but then it's got the turn track initiative, so I don't know if you really need that. Day night marker, the day night and weather conditions, I think they're optional rules, and the rest of them are just the turn track's right up to turn 13 it can go in. Okay, so, and the resistance was set at 6. So then we determine the number of high, medium, and low level activity markers. The activity level is determined with the rush resistance value by following these rules. High activity level, the number of companies or intel markers with a high activity level each turn will be half of the current turn's rush resistance value rounding down. And you always get a minimum of 1 of them. So it is actually going to get 3, isn't it? So is that got high in the back? No. So we either are one of them. So great. So all their companies have a pretty good chance. I want to say, actually that one's got, this one's got an 8 morale with no leadership value. This one's got an 8 with 1, so that's actually a 9. And then the final one, where is he? Is he here? He's got a 7 with a 1 as well. So they've all got a really good chance of being able to carry out 2 actions. So so I kind of forgot that, but which was fine because we're not done it. Well, we're just about to. So it's the AI's turn. So we've got to decide. But things are going to be different because we are defensive now. Or, sorry, they are defensive. So, right, where do I start with us then? Yes, indeed. Where do you start with us? I think it's activation priority chart. This one. I think it's this one, isn't it? So, yes, but we're using the bottom half of this chart now. Yes, because this is defensive, resistance greater than or equal to 0. So whereas we've been using all this for the last 3 turns, we're now going to be using this. Now, I decided to leave out the coordination thing as well. All these things balance out because I'm not using them for the Americans, so we're not using them for the Germans. I know it's maybe a bit crappy, and it's just how I ended up starting the game, and it was easier to just carry on, just ignoring the thing. I mean, yes, I could have brought them in, but again, the rules, in actual fact, are after the part that tells you to stop and play the first scenario. So I'm just kind of going with that, but the solo rules don't care about that. So anyway, I've been there and we've tried to explain that. Okay, so well, these look the same actually. So we're looking for the AI force supporting a routed AI company. There's no routed AI companies. AI companies with 2 or more routed platoons, there's none of them. AI forces with 2 actions marker assigned, well, no, not yet. We'll get to that one probably the next AI turn. So then, AI force without a reaction marker, up to 3 axes away from an objective hex not controlled by AI forces, except unoccupied hexes behind AI lines with no player platoons in a range of 3 axes. Right, I think that's exactly the same as the offensive one, isn't it? Not controlled by AI forces. It is indeed. No player platoons in a range of 3 hexes. Yeah, so it's exactly the same. So, right, well, none of the, and remember these, oh, hold on, that's not true. This is, the condition needs to be an AI force without a reaction marker. So these are marked with a reaction. Now, I don't think, again, the officer can't react anyway, so it's really just these guys here. But these chose to, they're marked for reaction. Now, they might do something different, but at the moment, we're not considering them. So, yeah, I'll put the leader on the top there. Because I don't think he's affected by reaction. So, the AI force, it needs to be an AI force without a reaction marker. See, Again, I struggle slightly because, right, sorry, I'm maybe not showing you that very clearly. There we go. Yeah, again, I'm struggling with this. I mean, this force, and it just says force, an AI force. What is that? What is that? What is an AI force? And I'm sure I read the definition of that somewhere. You know what? I'm going to go and have a wee search on the computer for the word force and see if it gives me some answer to that. Right, and as I was about to type in that and look for it, I thought I'm going to get a lot of results to this search, and there was 100 and whatever. And then I changed it to AI force, and it's still 100 and something. However, the very first result is on page 3, so hopefully this is going to, I didn't quite read it. What's the overview? Here. So, right, this is the overview on page 3 of the solar rules. Right, I think it's in this paragraph here, is it? The game concept includes a carefully crafted AI that analyzes each AI company. So let me read that again. The game concept includes a carefully crafted AI that analyzes each AI company out of command platoon or intel marker. So there's 3 things there: AI company, out of command platoon, intel marker, resulting in different activity levels according to the AI's needs. All of this elements will be known. Right, so that should be these. I think all of these elements will be known generically as AI forces from now on. So an AI force is a company or if it was a platoon that was out of command. So not a platoon. An AI force is not a platoon unless it's out of command or an intel marker. Okay, let me just finish that paragraph though. Despite the activity level defined for the AI forces, each combat platoon may execute different orders depending on their status, the presence of surrounding enemy platoons, or friendly support. This way, the AI allows for each individual platoon to perform a different action but still remain coordinated with a common purpose for the entire company given by the activity level. Now, that's quite interesting. That overview in itself is quite... I could have done my reading that the other night, but I did make a comment. That was a bit of a late night episode, and I think from the 14-minute mark, I've made a comment in the header, basically running through the whole rest of the video, which I think only got to 38 minutes or 36 or something. But I was just blundering my way through trying to give orders, and you know, this is clear that each platoon can get given a different order, Grant. You know, it depends on the state of them, depends if they're both the same and they're both in the same hex and they're both not got step losses, then they're both going to do the same thing. I think that's a guarantee. If one of them's got a step loss and one of them doesn't, there's a chance that they might do something differently. If one of them's got 2 step losses, and you know, and whatever. So anyway, there's the definition of an AI force. So coming back to look at this again, an AI force without a reaction marker, right? Okay. So finding that out makes things clearer, because this AI force does have a reaction marker, and maybe, you know what, maybe I should be putting that officer underneath there. I mean, it's still kind of tricky, because I don't know if you know what, I think the officer is marked for reaction. Where does it tell us? Oh god, hang on. Yeah, so it took me a while to find this, but this is what I was looking for. Now, we said we're not really using this, but the reason we're not using it is because there's no artillery units on the map, so we can't carry out onboard artillery missions. Skip that. Skip number 3. Rally. We will rally. We will rally if there's routed companies. Yes. Routed platoons or blah blah. That we can't because there's no artillery units on the map. That we will move. It says the officers not stacked with friendly forces. It basically moves with the platoons it's stacked with. If they move, it goes with them. That's simple. This doesn't apply because there's no onboard. That's offboard. Offboard artillery missions they're not available. There's no air missions available. There's no offboard artillery missions available. So they 3 don't apply. And then the last one is none, which okay, we are applying that as well. So we're applying rally, move, and none, which is 1, 3, and 7. And this is what John Brown actually pointed out quite a while back when I was kind of struggling with this. But this note here, it says if there's no specific action for it to do, if the platoons aren't moving and it's nothing to rally, then it says the officer has no specific orders, so will perform the same action that any remaining platoons stacked with it. Afterwards, mark it accordingly with finished or reaction markers. So, in actual fact, it's ended up in that hex, it's got nothing else to do, so it is marked with a reaction marker too. I mean, what that does for the officer, I don't really know. And the reason this is upside down is because that was placed on the previous turn to let me know that it's not being placed this turn. That's why that's like that. And they might change their action though. They might not be doing reaction anymore. So, so where does that take us? We're going back to here again. So we're looking for AI force without a reaction marker. So that officer there that we just looked at, and remember, it's a company, an intel marker, or a platoon that's out of command. Well, there's no platoons out of command, there's no intel markers. All we've got are 3 German companies, right? So each one of them is classed as an AI force. So the first AI force to look at is Bravo Company of the Motorized Panzer Grenadier. Bravo Company. They are marked for reaction. Their force is marked for reaction. Now, these guys here that are with them aren't marked for reaction. And that's why I started going into this, starting to wonder. I thought, well, okay, these are marked for reaction, but these are not. But it does state an AI force without reaction markers. And this force is all one. These are marked for reaction, so I don't think this stack applies here. That's how I have to look at it. And it's been confusing me quite a lot about different, because they're not all going to be in the one stack, but they're all part of the one company. So they can be spread out over multiple hexes. That's the thing. Okay, so we're not looking at Bravo Company from the Panzer Grenadiers. We are, however, looking at the Bravo Airborne and the Alpha Airborne. They're both not marked for reaction, okay? So, now, are they up to 3 hexes away from an objective hex not controlled by AI forces? This is 3 hex, at least 3 away from that, and 1, 2, 3, that. That's where there's an objective in there, there's an objective in there. So he is 3 away from that, he's 3 away from that. And again, I'm just looking at the leader, because he's the one that's... Yeah, I don't know, this is 3 away. If this wasn't 3 away and this was 3 away and it's part of this company, again, I'm not sure if I should be looking at that or not. Well, there's an example there, actually, because there's Bravo the Airborne, right? And they've got this machine gun in here. They are 1, 2, 3 away from that. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4 away from it. So my guess is that doesn't count for this company because we're looking at the leader right now. Anybody want to comment on that and agree with me, or do you feel that this is within 3 and could be acted upon first? This is just to decide the priority, who's going to go first. So I'm going to stick with that. We're going to look at the officer. It keeps it simple for me. So the officer, so he's 3 away from that, he's 3 away from that. Bravo is 3 away from that, and that's it. He's not got another option. So they can both be the priority. Yeah, because none of the objectives are not controlled by the AI. So looking at secondary, and of course I hit number 1 right away. Hexes reachable with safe movement and or with a greater number of objectives in play. I just don't get that one at all. It's the very first secondary priority, so I'm guessing it must mean something. I just can't get my head around it. Please, somebody, have a go at it at least. Come on, John, Hal, try that one. Hexes reachable with safe movement and or with a greater number of objectives in play. This is to decide the secondary priority between who activates first, this or this. So, trying to think it out, this hex is reachable. 1, 2, no, it's not. It's not reachable. The problem, I suppose, is I'm not using assault rules, whereas, I would need to assault by moving into that hex. I'm not using the rules. Is it based on that? And it says and or with a greater number of objectives in play. I just can't get my head around that one. So this can't move to that. And the thing is, they're not going to be able to move with safe movement anyway. That can't move towards that with safe movement because they're going to open up on it. And the same with, actually, yeah, that's not true. This one, right, would have safe movement to be able to move into that hex. I don't really, I'm not 100% sure if that's the intention. Maybe it means objective hexes that aren't occupied. Hexes reachable with safe movement and or with a greater number of objectives in play. Yeah, and we're trying to decide who goes first. So could it be like let's just say that there was an objective here and there was an objective there, and this guy could reach both of them. There was no American forces in them, and we could reach both of them. Then he would be the priority. I'm just wondering if it's just as simple as that, and we're not, we don't include hexes that are occupied. But I don't know. It doesn't. hex is reachable with safe movement. Well, hang on. If we were to go into assault, that wouldn't be classed as safe movement, would it? I think there's a different, I want to say there's a safe assault sort of thing that has to come into it. Like I say, again, we're not playing with assault rules, so which I've made this harder for myself probably by not playing with them. Would maybe make it more clear. I'm going to say we can't decide between the two because he can't move in there, right? Although he does have the movement. If this was empty, he would be able to move into there. If this was empty, he would not be able to reach there. Well, actually, that's not true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he could because they've got 5. Remember, so he could as well. But not. He couldn't move into that hex with safe movement because they would attack him. He could move into that hex with safe movement because there's nothing left. These are finished, so there's no American force that could attack that. So, but I'm not so sure it's meaning that. I think it's meaning like if there's like this objective down here is empty. You know, can it reach that? I think that's what it's meaning. Well, I don't know. I don't like the way it's written. Until somebody tells me, right, Grant, just look at it like this and read it like this, and then I'll be like, right. Just the way I've been reading it, which is quite possible. Let's skip by secondary priority number 1 and go on to secondary priority number 2. So the AI forces with the highest FF against the closest player platoons. So, right, well, there's 2 things in that, really, isn't there? There's having the highest FF, and then there's the closest player platoon. So, and the reason I have to look at that is because these are 2 away from this, and this is 1 away. So the thing is, though, this could have the highest FF and be 2 away, and this could be closer but have a lower FF. I don't think that's going to be the case. But, well, let's see. These are 1 away, so, and remember, yeah, I mean, they would count this. They have to count this as well. So that would be 10. No, sorry, it's not. This one's reduced by 1, so it's 9. 9. Hang on, that is these guys, isn't it? Yeah. Bravo, they're born. So 9, and then another 11. Yeah, so it's 20. He's got 20 FF against something that's adjacent. And he's got... now, the problem with him is they can't support the attack on that because they can't fire through that hex. But they could have a fire group against that. So that would be 10. Let's look at that, right? So 10. No, that's not going to be 10 though, because that's going to be cut in half because it's 3 hexes away. Oh, no. Machine gun's got a range, Grant. No, hold on. I don't think I can see that. I can't. No, we can't see that. We would have to be in this hex. We can't see that from there. He can see it, yeah. So, in actual fact, it's only going to be this hex that's going to count the firepower, and that's going to be 5 and... Yeah, it must be, because if there's a -1 counter on it, Grant, it can't be flipped, because then it'd be dead. If it's flipped and it gets an R hit, it's dead. So that's 11. Okay, so we've found our priority then. And I think it's always been the case that it's been this one that's activated first, isn't it? Okay. Long-winded, I know, but... Right, so this is the one that's got the priority. It's going to be given a high level. So Lillenhoff of the Bravo Airborne has got a high level. He's up there. Okay, so he's got a high level marker. Shall we just roll the dice? Yeah, let's do it. Let's just start rolling this dice. So his morale, can anything happen to his morale between now and rolling? I'm not 100% sure if you're meant to carry out the action first, then roll the dice, to be honest. And I'm not really that sure it matters. So, right, well, he's Willenhof has actually got an 8 morale, and he's actually got a leadership of 1. So, as long... Oh, no, it's 2d6, correct. As long as we roll a 9 or less, he's going to get 2 actions. Oh, well, there we go. He's not. Oh, that's good. That's a good thing for us. The first time we've had that. Okay, so he is going to activate with high level, but he's not going to... Yeah, no. No, we were following things right. Remember, got to keep remembering that I'm on defensive now, though. Okay, so we're wanting to find the order he's going to get. Right, so this will be different as well, maybe. So here's the orders chart. Now, remember, each platoon is different with this, Grant. So I eventually got there. So we've got, see, because this is a platoon with a step loss, and then underneath it there's a platoon without a step loss. So they'll be dealt with separately, and this might be the same case here. Yeah, I'm on the right guys. Yeah, Willenhof, that's it. So he's got a step loss, he has not. He's got a step loss, machine gun has not. Right, so, and they're in different hexes. So, and we're defensive, and although we're adjacent, he might still be wanting to attack. So let us look at, first of all, the unit here, this one, that's not got a step loss, right? Let's see what he does first. So we're on, this is the offensive side, so the defensive is the lower section. That's right. He's got high activity, so it's this section here. Right, let's zoom in on that a little bit. So we're down in here. We're just looking at that. Yeah, let's find, we've got to find here. So this is a platoon without losses. Okay? So we're looking in this column here for the platoon without the losses. Now, is it up to 3 hexes to a player platoon? Yes, it's adjacent. So, right, now here we are. So, on a 1 to 4 die roll, it would assault. On a 5 to 10, it's going to attack / react. Well, now I've rolled the dice to see if it's getting 2 actions, and that's just stopped me. Well, I can still deal with it, I suppose. But because it says attack / react, and it's got a high activity level marker. No, hold on. Maybe this is a case where I would have to know if it's got 2 actions then. Well, that's quite interesting then. Right, so where is that bit? Is it on here? Yes, notes, down there. There it is there. So double order, which confused me at first, because I thought that meant the double action, but it doesn't. Double orders like attack / react. That's a double order. Attack / react. So it says AI forces with a high activity level and their first activations always attack. Right. So, and then in other cases you would roll a 1d10 if there is a chance for the AI force to attack, and then there's a couple of things to check there. But because this is a first activation of a high activity level, and even though I've rolled the dice to say it's not going to get another action, that says there that it would always attack. Okay? So, and remember, we are, again, skipping by the assault rules. I know, boo. I know. So, I would have had to work out what the... Well, no, I don't... The die roll is going to be attack / react, but because it's the first activation, he's going to attack. Okay? So, he's going to attack... Okay, can we see if his buddy here... Right, hold on. What's the targets for him? There's only one here, isn't there? Yes. I'm looking at the wrong things again, Was I looking at that? This is them here. Right, sorry. It's the same for what we're looking at, but it's these have both got a step loss. So these are both going to do the same thing because they're in the same stack with one step loss each. This one's got one platoon with a step loss, one without. The one without is going to attack. Right, let's check the one that's got a step loss then. So again, it's high activity level. It's defensive, so it's down here. However, this time the column is platoons with one step lost. So it's in this section we're looking. And then it is up to 3 hexes from a player platoon, so it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. So again, just ignore the assault bits there. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. So attacker / react, as you can see, the die roll was slightly different between the assault and the... So he's going to attack as well. And remember, it's his first action of the high activity level. So they're both going to attack that. Now, well, in fact, are these guys just not going to join in? They are, aren't they? They've both got a step loss too. So, and they've got up to 3 hexes from a player platoon. They're going to be on this bit too. That's right, yeah. So they're going to attack as well. And there's no other thing they can attack. And it's not that this 1, 2, 3 hexes of 0.5 level block line of sight, so they cannot see that. To be honest, this might cross through the building hex, but I think if it doesn't, it's going to be counting 1, 2, 3 hexes anyway, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, looking at that there, it looks like it crosses the building hex. Maybe not. Well, you know what? It crosses through 1, 2, 3 of them anyway, so the only one, the only thing they can see is this. So these are both going to attack this. Wow, honestly. I mean, yes, I suppose I should be able to be doing that quicker, but I want to get it right. I want to get it right. So, right, let's do it. So let's do the combat chart and all that stuff. Okay, so what we got? We've got 11, and this is automatic fire. So that's 11. I think about it. Oh no, I said 20 before, but I was counting that. So that's, I want to say it might be one less then, because these have both got a step loss. So 11, this is 3, and this is 5. So 11 plus 8 is indeed 19, not 20. So 19, it's got the automatic fire, it's got the machine gun adjacent. It's not got 6 steps in the hex, just 3. And it's a defensive of 5. So 19, so it'll drop to 18. So it's on the 18 column. Machine gun adjacent is a -2. Automatic fire is a -1. That is going to be that. So there's a -3 to this on the 18 row, on the 18 column. And it's a divisor of 5. 7. Would I like to see it higher? So 7 -3 is 4. Yeah, they minuses are like huge, aren't they? They are. So 4 on the 18 column. There's a way down here. It's just going to be one hat. That's just still going to be one hat. I mean, if you go a higher roll, yeah. So it's the result is 8 divided by 5 is 1. So 1 hat. There's only the one guy there, isn't there? So he's hat. No. Sorry, why am I taking him off? No leader with him, officer. Now, however, that's another step loss to Echo Company. So let's just double check. That's 1. Nothing in there. That is Echo. 2. That is Echo as well. 3, 4. Yeah, did I look down on that, to be honest? That's 4 in total. So 4's fine. It's above 4 that's the problem. Let me just double check in here first, though. Yeah, because if that had been flipped over, there's the other side. That would have been 2 step losses. So you need to watch that, Grant. Right, so 4 step losses, that's fine. We don't need to do anything more with that. Yeah, okay, and we've done the die roll already. So they're both going to be marked finished. So that was a good part to that. So I suppose they dished out 1 step loss and then they're finished. This 2 action thing is... Oh, man. That's rock. Oh, got the wrong one again. This one, Grant. Yeah, 2 action stuff is hard going, like, for sure. Okay, so back to us. God, mate, I've managed to take that to 35 minutes. Right, well, I'm going to have an hour little shot myself before we finish this one up. So, again, we've got the routing company over there, but I think it's not really, I mean, all we're going to try to do with that is rally it back up, and hopefully we're going to get a result with that. So, we've got this here. We can fire on this. Can't see this, can't see this. So this is all we can see. So, yeah, it's crossing Bocage, but they're at range. The range is 2. Well, he's got double time on him. That's not a step loss. So this is a machine gun that's not going to be adjacent, but it's still a -1 for that, mind. And all the Americans get the automatic fire. So that would be 3, remember, for the machine gun for the Americans. So that's 9, isn't it? And what we got in here, though? This is not as good. Yeah, so that's 10 in there. So it's 19. I think we take this on. I think we sit there and take this on, yeah. Yeah, because we're sitting, that's an objective X as well. So yeah, so these are going to fire group up and attack this. Coming across the Bocage into a 3 defensive field with 19 fire factors. Let's do it. Machine gun, but not adjacent this time. So 19 was going to the same column, they just rolled on. But remember, they're in a 3. So I mean, if we can get a 9 here, oof, that would be good. Not getting the full -2 for the machine gun. So we're getting 1 for the automatic fire, -1, and 1 -1 for the machine gun firing. It's just that it's not adjacent. So that's 2 steps in the hex. Yeah, because you're going over the Bocage as well. I get the feeling there's not 6 steps in this hex, though. No, there's 5. Damn it. Is that right? Yeah, 1's took a step loss. So there's only 5 in the hex, so that's not working. So a -2, but however, we are firing across the Bocage, so that's a +1. So we're sitting at a -1 on the 18 column. Come on, let's have a nice low roll for us. With a -1. Oh, come on. The dice are terrible for me. So 10 -1 is only 9. Oh, let's hope it's still at least a hit. It might not be. So 9 on the 18 column is, yeah, it is. Just, there's 1 hit. 3, just the 3. Yeah, I took the 1 off, yeah. So it is just 1 hit. Yeah, there's 1 of these not taking a hit, so that guy's going to take the hit. Okay, now there is an officer in there, so wait, hang on. Did we... Right, hang on, let me get the step loss for that before I forget. Did we roll for our officer the last time? He fired... Well, I don't know which... No, there wasn't an officer in the hex, was there? No, it was just 1 platoon in the hex, Grant. Yeah, so 1 step loss in there, so we do need to roll to see if the officer dies, but I mean, we need a double 1, because there was only 1 hit dished out, so that's another 10. So no, that's all that's going to happen. Now they've suffered 1, 2, that's their only step losses, so no morale check needed. These are marked finished, and Yeah, and we're moving along, to be honest. Okay, so that's 2 of our companies moved, done their thing. I mean, there are companies routed anyway, so. Okay, well, I'll keep going. Yeah, keep going, Grant, keep going. So, next priority is, well, on that priority list, it's going to be the one without the reaction marker, isn't it? Because they didn't get 2 actions marked, so there's nothing routed. Up to 3 axes away from an objective, an AI force without a reaction marker. So it is going to be Alpha Company of the Airborne. So they're going to activate next. So that's Weiter. No, he's up there as well. So marked him up for high activity level as well. And yeah, let's just do that. Let's just do that die roll again. I don't think it matters. So his morale is, yeah, we're going back to the map. He's got an 8 but no leadership value. So needs an 8 or less. Yeah, you do have to remember that morale from losses comes into this. The Germans haven't suffered any morale loss though. It's just us. Right, so an 8 or less. Oh, another 10. That's 3 10s in the drop. One of them, it wasn't so good for us, but that one is. So again, yeah, no, he's not going to get a second action. So that's good. Right, so what is he going to do? Yeah, what is he going to do? Right, well, what have we got this time? In this hex, these have both got a step loss, haven't they? Because we just had another one of these. So that's 2 platoons with a step loss. They're both going to do the same thing. These do not have a step loss, however, so they might do something different. But you can see that there didn't look like there was. Well, yeah, they're going to want to fight. Let's look at them first. I don't know. Maybe you should be looking at the ones without the step loss first. I don't think it's going to matter. It's just, I suppose I'm thinking of fire. Oh no, did we not say this couldn't fire here? Yeah, this can't see that, and it can't see to fire at that because it's got a friendly in the way. So the two step lost units. Remember, we're on defensive, high activity. Both these platoons have a step lost, and I'm saying both of them because they're both going to do the same thing. There are up to 3 hexes from a player platoon. Yeah, so they are going to, again, attack/react, but because this is the first action, they're going to attack. So they're going to attack, and well, we're as well just doing that because these can't join in. Stop, Grant, stop. They can attack this. And that would become a fire group. That could attack that too. I missed something there. No. I think that's okay. So hang on. So he's actually got 1, 2, 3 targets. So we need to know which one he's going to go for. Yeah, and that is the flow chart, isn't it? The attack flow chart. So select a target to attack, and the attack target is the closest hex occupied by player platoons that may be attacked by MFF. Right, I'll read the rest. This is 10. See, the thing is, we are just looking at this just now. 10's enough though. But what if this was 9 right now? Let's just say this was 9, right? And let's just say this was a built up area. Then he would not be allowed to attack that because it's not got MFF. However, if he fire grouped up with that, he then would be able to attack that. So is that considered? I don't think so, because I think you've got to look at these individually. Well, hold on. Because these are both going to be given. In fact, let me just stop there a minute. Let's just say this has got an attack action, right? At the moment it has. Now, if it finds it doesn't have a target, we could go through this flowchart and it could end up changing that. But at the moment, that's what it's given. Now, well, is that right, Grant? Should you be marking that as attack? I don't know. I mean, well, let's put that on there. We've not been through the flowchart yet. Let's look at the other platoons and the other hex who are not got a step loss. So we're going to look on here. They're just going to do the same, aren't they? They're going to attack / react. They're going to attack as well. So let me just put that back and mark these with an attack as well. Right? Now, the problem here is, right, he can't see through to these, can't get through that, but he can attack that. That's the only target he's got. He's got 3 options. So, going back down to the attack target flowchart, closest hex occupied by player platoons that may be attacked with MFF. So, yeah, I mean, all these apply, but I think you've seen what I was thinking there. If this just had 9 and this was a 5, but both of them attacking together would give them the MFF. But I feel like I'm meant to look at this first, and then that would say, no, I'm not going to attack there, I'm going to attack there. If this was a 5 defensive value and this was a 3, then what we would be doing is saying, right, we've found our target. And that's that. And then now when we look at this guy, we if this was buildings, you know what I mean, we could then have joined up with that, and in fact now, what is that? That's 10 as well, isn't it? Say for instance that was 9 as well, and now it couldn't attack that. I don't know. I suppose, is there a way to look at that full chart? I mean, I think you're checking, because we've checked the... No, hang on. We've checked the priorities. We've checked... Well, let me look in the rules here. Let's make sure you're doing this in the right order. So we've checked the priorities. That's fine. We know what we're doing. We know what company we're active in. But giving them the orders... Yeah, you see. No, we're not bringing coordination into it though. The final step of the AI is defining individual orders to be assigned to each platoon. Yeah. Activation priority rules, right. Orders assignment rules. When an AI force has been selected for activation, you must assign it orders, execute the suitable actions for the complete game mode following the rules described in this chapter. First of all, determine the orders assigned to each platoon in the company or to the entire company. This is done by rolling a d10, checking the orders chart. Once you've determined what part of the chart to use, check the location of the AI forces in relation to any player platoons. Right, okay. Right, procedure appears rather complex, but is actually very fast. Consider that for an AI company formed of 3 platoons located in the same hex, so we're going to receive the same order. And then orders flow diagram. Once you've got the orders from the orders chart, follow the appropriate flow diagrams for them. Whenever you need to use a flow diagram, start in the box containing the appropriate orders. Yeah, and then you execute the orders in a priority as well. It doesn't seem to be any kind of priority for going through the flow diagram, which is where I'm having this issue right now and wondering. It's not going to affect the situation, but I guess I'm just thinking of, what if this was like that? Right, well, I don't know. Whether anybody wants to have a go at or anybody has thoughts on that, maybe please don't leave any notes. But okay, so he is now, did we say he's definitely attacking that? No, why have I got that marked with that? Coastal sect occupied by platoons that maybe attack the MFF. With several options. First, choose the hexes with a ward of... Yeah, why am I marking this one as? Was it just the example I was going through? I think it was. I was trying to suggest that this was a 5 defensive value. Right, so no. So he's going to attack. These are as close away, the 3 of them. So we need to break it down. With several options, first choose the hexes with a lower defensive value. Well, that is... They're all 3s, aren't they? That's light woods. That's light woods. That's a field. So they're all 3s. Right, double check that again. 3. Yes. Then choose a target that may be attacked with a higher FF. Right, it's not talking about die roll modifier, just a higher FF. I don't know how that can be different, that one. But I dare say it could come up. Because this is, what did we say, 10? So I'm attacking that with 10, I'm attacking that with 10, I'm attacking that with 10. So there's no difference there. If there are still options available, choose hexes with a larger number of objectives for the AI side. Yeah, so that's his target, isn't it? So it actually is that one. But I didn't know that. I think I was just... Because this one's got an objective marker, these 2 do not. So that's him giving his orders, but this can only attack this. Well, to be honest, the closest sect's occupied by poor platoons that may be attacked with MFF. Well, he is attacking with MFF. He's got 10 as well, isn't he? Yeah. But, right, where's that one? Yeah. So this should be given to this. That's it. So you see, they're not joining up then. Perform AP attack. Right, hang on then. Right, so just glancing at attack rules here again. This is section 12, page 25 of the solo rules. When the orders chart shows the word attack, an attack order is given. First check the attack order flow diagram, which we've just done. If the order is confirmed, mark the AI force with an attack orders marker. Additionally, attack orders may also be issued after. Yeah, so maybe we shouldn't give the attack order until we've went through the flow diagram. But, yeah, I can always change it if it's different. So I think that's okay. For AI side attacks, you must define the following details. Fire groups. Which platoons will combine their firepower to perform the attack? 2. Target hex. The hex where the player force suffering the attack is located. 3. The FF type, which is always going to be AP in this scenario. Once you've placed all order markers... Yeah, see, it says once you've placed all order markers, attack markers included, you must determine the fire groups. All AI in command platoons in a single company located within 1 hex of each other must combine their fire factor to perform one single attack using the same fire factor type. Well, but they've both got different targets here. And that's why I'm wondering if we've got this wrong. And there should be something that intervenes before I decide to try and, before I give this a different target. Now, hold on. No, well, it's the other way about, isn't it? Because this one can only attack this. He could join as a fire group to attack it. But he's chose to attack that. So, I don't know. Afterwards, you must assign the target of the attacking group. Let's see. When following this procedure for an AI fire groups, I feel like I'm getting this wrong, actually. I feel like these should maybe be joined up as a group. When following this procedure for an AI fire group, start by looking for an AT target. See, it's still not picked a target here. Naturally, you don't need to look for targets of the FF types of your fire group. Why is it not? So do the targets get to? Yeah, dear. Okay. I'm gonna, I think, have to look more into this. And yeah, I could ask a question, but is it on the main? No, it would have to be on the AI side of things, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd have to be in the Alone in the Storm. Right, 57 minutes. I could do with taking a short break. I'm going to leave these markers on here. I'm going to call this apart. And I'm going to just take a break and I'm going to come back and read that section on attack there. And try and put it together with the actual targeting procedure. No, was there not notes? Yeah, it's underneath. Right, okay. I'll leave that for now. We are still let me put the blue cube to this just to make sure we know this is Officer. This is the company that we're activating right now. We think this is attacking there and this is attacking there, but I'm starting to think I might have that wrong. And maybe now we should be coordinating our fire onto this, not attacking that, and these should be joining up and attacking that. I think I might be able to see it if I read this, page 25, about attack. It's just, I kind of thought these were decided first before you then looked into fire groups and things. It could well be that still is the case, but don't know, reading that bit there just now. But I need to read it a bit more carefully, I think. Maybe I'll look at the couple of examples there as well. Right, okay, I'll leave that as a part and be back with the next part pretty soon. I'm going to get another part in at least tonight. Okay, cheers.